Welcome back everyone, Adzi here, and today on the bench we have got the open gearbox of a Speckler Arms Mark 18, yeah? Now, there's good reason that that is here. This belongs to a very good customer of mine named Chris, who also has his YouTube channel, Ghost Rider. I will drop a link in the description to his channel below, so feel free to go and check out his channel as well, just so we know who we're on about. But Chris has brought this to me, among two other things ready. We've also got Tokyo Marui VSR G-Spec. Now, I've got that, and we've also got another one of his Speckler Arms M4 variants. Now, why do I have 3 rifles from Chris? It's a good question. Now, as with a lot of my customers, they'll ask me to do a little bit of a quick service, interim service, let's say, on some of their rifles before they have maybe bigger games away or a weekend away or something like that. In Chris's case, on this occasion, it is going to be the National Airsoft Festival. I'm sure many of you out there are going to have heard of that. Some of you might even be attending. But he's just said to me, can you give my guns a quick once over just to make sure they're all performing at their absolute best and there's nothing that we need to be addressing. So I thought I'd put the camera on and just share with you guys some of the things that I'm going to look at whilst just giving them a quick once over to sort of get them ready. Now at this point we're not doing any super upgrades or super modifications or anything like that, because on this one I built that previously for Chris, so I know for a fact that everything is good to go. We just need to make sure everything is sort of maintained and working as it should. So, what are we looking at then? So, obviously we've got the gearbox open. Now, the bits I've done first, I've checked out all the gears. Now, I know previously these were all shimmed and all set up perfectly for the alignment with the motor, but I just wanted to make sure that there was no unnecessary wear and tear and that everything has been doing what it needs to be doing in here and performing well, so that we're looking for any wear, and we're going to clean off all the grease and we're going to put fresh grease on. So that I've already done that on these, so they're all done, greased up, ready to go back in. Now, other things I took out, obviously we had the anti-reverse latch here. There is a little bit of a spring that would be for that, but it's obviously, as you can see, it's not quite right. It's a little bit backward, a little bit bent, a little bit snapped off. So that is one thing that we have identified during this kind of over check, just to make sure everything's all good. We're going to need a new spring whilst we're here, so well worth checking. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to give the piston a once over. Let's pull that out of here. So if we have a little look at this, everything's all looking fine. No damage, no nothing. Top end of it's looking good. So that, I would say, is fine. We're going to give it a good clean up, so you can see why we need to get in here and service this. Look how filthy the top of that is with the O-ring. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, the O-ring on the pistons is obviously what's creating your air seal. So if that's not particularly clean or in good health, then obviously it's going to impact the efficiency of the sort of piston and cylinder. So we'll take all these off, we'll clean them as well, so we're going to give those a thorough clean through, and then once we've done that, I'll put that back together, and then we'll just have a quick look at what we're going to do with the barrel. So here we are, look at all the filth coming out here. Now yes, okay, a lot of that is going to be the old grease, but I always feel it's worth freshening that up every now and then, just because it's important that that is as clean as possible to help get the best air seal. Now hopefully with a bit of fresh grease on here, once it's all being cleaned off, that's all because now before I do the rest of the piston, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and make sure that we've got a good air seal on here, just in case we need to replace the O-ring or anything. So we've only got a light covering in there. I don't know if this is even going to see. We haven't swamped it with grease, it's literally just a light covering to make everything work together nicely. And if we put our finger over the end of that ready, that is an absolutely phenomenal air seal ready. I'll push down on this. Ooh. There, I'm continuously pushing on that and it will not go down. There we are, look, as you can see there, that finger on the top, I'm pushing down. So that has got a phenomenal air seal. Right, if I take my finger off the top, ready? Look at that, perfect air seal in the cylinder. Right, now the rest of the grease is on the piston, on both sides, a little bit on the teeth. That is now ready to go back in the gearbox. So everything's all cleaned now, fresh grease on it, and all fitting together nicely, so everything's checked. The only bit we're going to replace, as we mentioned earlier, was the anti-reversal latch. So we've got a brand new one here. I'm going to put that on there because that'll perform so much better with one of those in here. So that is the gearbox all serviced and back together. Just got to put that back in the lower receiver in just a moment. But now let's go and talk about what we're doing with the barrel and the hop. Now for the barrel and hop then, you pretty much already guessed it. It's just basically a process of cleaning this stuff. But one little thing I would always say we do, because obviously this rifle's been working absolutely fine, I'm just going to put a little mark on there and there. So I know when I put this back together, that little mark's going to line up and the hop is going to be pretty much in the right place for where it needs to be. So if we strip this down then, and I would always recommend completely taking your barrel out, completely taking it out of the hop chamber for cleaning it, because the amount of people that will just chuck a barrel rod down the front of that whilst that's installed, poke it all the way down, depositing all of the dirt in this end of it, kind of the business end where all the hop's actually functioning, and then putting the rod back up like that after just plumbing everything down there. So if you're going to do this, learn how to take it out of the rifle, or give it to me, send it to me, I'll do it, that's not a problem. But yeah, let's clean all this, the hop off, being careful not to damage the hop rubber, of course, so it gently does it. Right, now can we see how filthy it is in there? Look at the state of it. So that's really what we're going to be cleaning up. That's just all the wear and tear that the BB's put on it. This will probably need a good clean through because, like you can see at the front here, I have the camera thing, the light's not coming in, but basically there's like BB residue on the inside of this. So we're going to clear all of that out so that it is all nice, polished, squeaky clean and ready to go. Now for what I'm actually using to actually clean the barrel, and I'll use it on the hot rubber as well because it's absolutely fine on there, it's just basically a car degreaser basically. That'll break down any oils and other contaminants that are in there and make it nice and easy to get it all clean. Okay, so all we're trying to do here is get the patch inside this hot rubber nice and clean, because you'll find with the hot rubbers, it takes a lot to wear them out, in my opinion, in all honesty. Some of mine that I've got, I've had thousands of rounds. As long as you look after them, in the sense of keep them clean, don't be rough with them when you're taking them off the barrel and all the rest of it, they should last for quite a while. And once this one is all cleaned up, it will be launching laser beams again in no time, trust me. So there we go, we can see in there, hopefully, if the camera's going to pick that up. The little patch at the top is now nice and clean, and that'll impact with the BBs nicely and give them a nice bit of backspin. So the last bit we're going to clean is the hop chamber. Don't neglect this bit, this gets just as much dirt as everything else, and of course your BBs have to pass through this before they make it to the barrel, so we want this as clean as possible as well. Right, so with that clean as well, that is everything that makes up barrel and hop clean and ready to take BBs again. On the subject of everything that your BB touches, don't forget, keep your mags clean as well, because again, if you've got filthy mags, you're just going to get bumpy dirt straight back into everything again. You're going to unwind everything you've just done. So we're not going to get into mag cleaning today, but just a pointer, Keep them clean, along with everything else. Just pop that back in there. Here we are. We'll line our little marks back up so we know it's done. And then that is good to go. One fresh barrel, fresh hop, and clean hop chamber. That is ready for laser beams, as we mentioned earlier. Laser beams, people. Everyone likes laser beams. Okay, so that is that. Spectre Arms Mark 18. All fresh, all serviced, all cleaned, prepared, and ready for battle at the National Airsoft event for Chris. Just a quick recap of what we've done, just to summarise. Obviously, we saw us in the gearbox at first. We just made sure all the gears were in good condition. We cleaned them up, we put some fresh grease on them. We did the same with the piston, with fresh grease on that, and of course, clean out all the gearbox, fresh grease in that. Reassemble it, obviously making sure you don't move any of the shims and that if you've had all that done previously. And then once all of that was done and back together, in fact, not forgetting, we did spot one bit. Little anti-reversal lever spring which had broken, so fresh one of them. So just giving it a service, it gave us an opportunity to see that before that caused us any upsets or issues during a game day. And of course with the barrel, clean all the barrel, clean all the hop, make sure you strip it to pieces before you do it, because otherwise all you're doing by jamming a rod down here is dumping all the stuff that you've built up the length of the barrel at this end, and it just makes your hop work harder, or if it, well, it just probably stops it from working altogether, in all honesty. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a summary of what we've done there. And then just quickly, for those of us that are interested, similar idea. Obviously I've just done the same sort of thing on the bolt action sniper for Chris as well. Obviously there's no gearbox in that, so a little bit different on the bolt actions. That was stripping it down, same procedure on the barrel, etc., on the hop. Now there is another thing I do sometimes on some of the barrels, which I have done on both of these, but it's top secret. I'm not showing that. That's my extra level of prep that I like to do on some of the rifles, above just cleaning them like we've seen. And of course inside the cylinder, again, you've got a piston head, and you want to be making sure it's all clean, fresh, and the air seal is good in those as well. Get all of those bits right and your rifles will be phenomenal. So that is going to bring us to the end of this video. My next job is the next one in Chris's arsenal that he's dropped off here. So I'm going to be doing the same on that as what we've just done on that one, but you guys don't need to see that. I'm going to turn the camera off now. So hopefully that video has been really useful. Hopefully that aids you in getting some of your toys and replicas ready for your big game days, wherever you may be playing. So go out there, enjoy yourselves, take your hits, and I will see you all in the next one.